They all have to go. They're part of the 20 million.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is like, no, I hear this sometimes where it's like, go outside, it's still the 90s, and it's like, but it's not, man. I live amongst heritage Americans mainly who are doing well economically, and so for me, life is like pretty good on the day-to-day or whatever, but I don't. I'm a middle-aged man. I could die tomorrow and I don't give a fuck about myself, to be honest with you. I care about my children and their future, and nothing in the country is trending in the correct direction. And so that's not like me being like, I don't know, Twitter fucked or something. All of the data is going horribly awry in real time in front of us, and the world we're gonna leave in the future is going to be a fundamentally worse America.
I'm gonna push back on one metric, which is I think the only way in which America seems to be turning around, which is on energy production. Like all this AI bullshit. Like we genuinely will be leaving our children a grid that's multiple times stronger.
By the way, I feel good about us because we led that fight. We paved the way for
Bitcoin. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So I feel good about all the work we had to endure to fucking pave the way for the AI guys. But, I mean, can tech save America? It's like, I would like to think so. Because that's sort of my
I don't think American dynamism saves America. I just think that it keeps allowing us to pull a rabbit out of the hat to unfuck catastrophe, and then we just live long enough to eventually unfuck the real problem. But the technology rabbit out of the hole just keeps the game going long enough to live, to live long enough to then fix the problem.
Yeah.
Well, because the thing I was saying before to you a while back was that I actually think that the debt is going to continue to grow exponentially, and that AI is going to make us all exponentially more economically productive, but they're both going to cancel out, and we're just still going to have the exact same standard of living because the $500 trillion debt will be sustained by everyone having 19 robots. And you'll still work, you'll have zero quality of life increase.
I think that we need to... I don't know, man. I would like to believe you that, like, my vibe check is that everybody is an individuated American still, who believes in the meritocratic ideals. But I don't. I see a bunch of people engaged in, sort of in-group preference, like across the board. And now it's happening to white people. White people are doing it too.
We also have the cascade failure of we pay people to not work, and then they have all of the time that they need to influence politics because they don't have a job.
That's true. That's a problem.
That's just like a cascade failure.
People screech about the Irish, infecting this country or whatever, and it's like, bro, with what time? The Irish were either drunk or at the factory the whole time, their whole lives. Like, there was nothing else that they were doing, I mean, sure, Tammany Hall was corrupt and the Irish played a big part in that and blah, blah, blah. Like, that's all true, but, like, the Irish were just at work. They were just working in the factory. It was Upton Sinclair's The Jungle.
I do think that if you're a net tax receiver rather than payer, you should not have the right to vote. It's just any way to fix this outside of that.
I think that's completely fair too, because that would actually get rid of a lot of billionaire characters. Like Donald Trump couldn't vote if that was the case, because he is not a net taxpayer because he has that huge write-off from the 80s. So every year he takes a loss.
I haven't looked at George Soros' taxes in a while, but for the past 20 years, he would get tax exemptions and then roll them over, and he would every administration he would get a 10-year tax exemption, and then by the next time Democrats are in power, they would roll it over. And dude, if you gave me 50 years of taxes, I also would be a billionaire by the time I was 80.
Doesn't it mean much George Soros hates humanity? What a scumbag that guy is.
The dude literally said when he was 70, the happiest year of his life was the year that he was a Nazi collaborator seizing Jewish lands for the Nazis. Not his first child, not his second child, not his grandchildren, not when he became a billionaire, not when the war ended and the Berlin Wall fell. It was the year he was a Nazi collaborator seizing Jewish land. was Christian, and he was 14 at the time, and he got a job as a bookkeeper for the Nazis as they were seizing land. And he said it was exhilarating, it was exciting, it was the happiest year of my life.
That's crazy. It's a crazy thing to say. As you guys were talking about like the in-group biases and that preference, I was scrolling. I saw how much of a shit show Canada's in by like all the Indians they took. Because the Indians that they took are like, they have their own separatist movement. They want like another place in like India, Pakistan region called Khalistan. And they're all waving their own flags, and there's like, third world beefs there. But India does not want any of these fuckers back. So Canada has to now deal with all these fucking psycho-separatists thinking that they're going to somehow get back to Asia and get...
And you know what's going to happen, Vic, right? Is they're just going to walk the northern border and move to fucking Maine and Michigan. Yeah. And they're going to fuck up America.
Well, and then at the same time, by the way, you have the young white guys have all decided that they're an identity group, and they were like, that was supposed to be like baked in that the young white guys were going to believe in individual sovereignty, and they don't anymore because of the Fuenteses of the world. And so like it's very hard for me to see a world in which we get back individualist meritocratic ideals. Especially because, like, just follow the money here. Half of the fucking country is on the fucking government dole. So this is no longer a place where it's like manifest destiny.
Remember when Mitt Romney? It was so funny because there's so many reasons to hate Mitt Romney, but nothing he said that he got canceled for was incorrect. Where he was like, 47% of Americans receive more in government payouts than they ever pay in taxes. You're never going to win their vote if you're trying to talk about increasing productivity.
No, exactly. This is the point, is that
that was 20 years ago. Like, can you imagine what that percentage must be now?
Everybody is now an ethnic bloc, okay, including white people, and you basically, like, vote for whoever supports your ethnic bloc, and if you don't get whatever you want, you chimp out. And that's how politics works. And, again, this is, like, a sign of the collapse of the empire, is that this is how empires always die, or nations die, is that people discover, democracies die, I should say. People discover that they can vote themselves largesse from the public treasury, and then the nation collapses under loose fiscal policy because there's simply not enough money to give every group whatever they want, whatever their demands are.
Sorry, hold on, I just got here. You're talking about France, right? Talking about France.
Well, this is happening in every country in the Western world.
I know.
So there is no fallback country for Western
we're
people.
2 steps ahead. We're generally 2 steps behind America, but we're 3 steps ahead.
There's no fallback country for non-Westerners because the places they come from are unstable. And then there's no fallback country for Westerners because the places that they come from are going through the same thing.
You know what's crazy to think about? When we lose free speech in America, do you know what that does to the internet? Because there's legally the only refuge for the concept of speech online is the shroud of the American legal system. And the moment that doesn't exist in America, there's literally going to be no such thing as free speech on the internet.
Once there's no free speech on the internet, by the way, it'll be pointless to even go on the internet. Why would we even want to go? It'll just be robots talking to each other, which it already is.
I'm just thinking about the scenario where you have to retreat from America, and if America loses free speech, like, how do you even engage in the internet with no free speech?
America is the place where freedom makes its last stand. America is the Alamo of the world. But we need some help, because we're not as strong as we were 75 years ago. Post-war, we don't have the culture to uphold freedom anymore.
Huddle, have you been following the 4chan lawsuit that the British government has had?
What's going on with that?
Oh, so the British government, Ofcom, which is their censorship regulator, they passed a law last year that said that any company that has people speak on it needs to be regulated by Ofcom. And then they went after Gab and they went after 4chan. And they told them that they have to shut down like people on their site, or they'll penalize them and then they'll throw them in jail, and they'll penalize them 10% of their gross profit or gross revenue. And so they did this like a month or two ago. But 4chan has no offices in the UK. Everything is based in America. And so now they're trying to force British law on an American company in America based on them not censoring people in America. And traditionally, the way it works is if you don't like a company, you IP block it to your country. But the UK is going one further, and they're saying, we're not going to IP block you. We're just going to prosecute you for not adhering to British law, even though you literally have no premise in the UK.
Well, I mean, if you're an American, what effect should that have on you? None, technically.
So one of my good friends is the lawyer who every single company that Ofcom has sued in America, he is taking them on pro bono and has been representing them. And dude, if you want, I'll send you some of his letters. They're the funniest, most base thing you've ever read.
It's just like eat shit. Have you ever read the letter from the Pirate Bay to it was like EA or something, somebody, one of the media conglomerates, and they were like, hey, fuck faces, we're in Sweden. We don't care about your copyright laws. Like, it was like the greatest letter ever.
Yeah. But it's happening in real time now. The UK is trying to assert, but if you actually look into how Ofcom started doing that, it actually was Hillary Clinton who asked them to do it. Because back when the Russiagate stuff happened, she realized that you couldn't get free speech. The easiest way to destroy free speech in America was to try to get the UK to pass this law and then try to apply it to American companies.
Man, we got a lot of problems going on. A lot. But Bitcoin's up.
Hey, Trump's here. He's thrown no one in jail, and everything's going to be better now. Remember that whole massive pedophile ring that compromised thousands of people who run the government and nothing happened? I'm really glad that Trump's here to keep making nothing happen.
By the way, Alvaro in the chat wants to know if you're racist. Are you racist, Mohan?
Racism is defined as a form of hatred to a group of people. Could you describe a race that I would consider people?
That was a lot. That said a lot. Yeah.
I don't respond to the chat. If they want to talk to me, they can talk.
I'm in a
racist. I don't see anyone calling you
racist. No, he was like, y'all racist. Such a broad question. Hey, are y'all racist? No, the answer is no. I find myself in this middle ground of like trying to hold the center of meritocratic individualist ideals for a fucking nation and just getting completely blown the fuck out every day. Just getting destroyed every day. But just being a fucking retarded libertarian and just continuing to show up and be like, this is all I can do. This is who I am. I can't do anything different. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing that I always hate a lot about some libertarians that become the like, hey, I'll call it the like the low hygiene libertarians. And when I say hygiene, I mean like psychological hygiene, right? They're just hyper permissive and they think everything is open and available. And it's
right,
like, no.
We don't, yeah, that's dumb.
Like everything can be private land, and I can tell you to get off my land. Like in like you can have private communities, and the private community can say you're not allowed in this neighborhood. You're allowed in this neighborhood. You're not allowed in this neighborhood. You're allowed in this neighborhood, and they can do it on the basis that they want to do it in. And
it's kind of like this wokeified version of Christianity, which assumes that like in order to be Christian, you have to just be like
help every homeless person.
Well, not only that, but you have to like sit there and just let people kill you, essentially. Right. You know, it's like that's the most Christian ideal. It's like, nah, I'm good on that one.
But yeah, I just you can acknowledge that we have 22 million trespassers, and the only way you can fix the country, like how can you imagine you come home and your kid's at a house party, and and there are still random fucking 17-year-olds who are shit-faced in your house. And you're like, let me discipline my kids, but you're disciplining your kids and you haven't even finished kicking out the fucking random drunk 17-year-olds that aren't even from your neighborhood out of your house.
Totally. Well, the idea of America is just this. I mean, I think America is going through this big identity crisis itself, which is like, are we a nation or are we an economic zone? Because if we're an economic zone, it completely changes everything. Because a lot of us still think of us as being a nation,
I also think that we're a set of principles and ideas, and if A, you have to be useful to us, and B, if we know that you don't adhere those values or ideals, you should have no access to this country. I think John Seth completely convinced me. It didn't take much convincing because I was like 80% of the way there. But I think the only way you fix America is by repealing the Civil Rights Act. And then Hobble drops off. He knows it's too much of a hot potato. Hey, John Seth, are you there? Oh, then John Seth drops off. Oh, God. Just leave me with this hot potato. Sorry, did you say something, Jason?
I just laughed, but I was going to say that I know in the UK we're looking at it the same way, like their equivalent of the Civil Rights Act is like they're looking at that's the cornerstone.
The right to free association is an inherent right that has been trampled, and it was based on this idea that the government had to compel people to not engage in it because we needed to integrate. We're fully integrated. Like it was a huge encroachment on our rights. And for rights of association, I think its time has come. I think it needs to leave. And I think a lot of the things that need to get fixed once you can reaffirm that right again of free association.
Mon, I agree with you quite a bit, and I think that this actually thing that gets missed sometimes in Bitcoin when people talk about Bitcoin solely through the freedom of speech and private property, which is that economics is built upon association, and when you have economic distortions, the effect of that is to impede people's basically ability to get together, whether that's forming businesses in whatever way. And so people don't think about it that way, but that's pretty much what happens. So when people talk about, crony capitalism or whatever, really, if people had the freedom of association in business to just go and form their own business, then the whole aspect of labor wouldn't be an issue. Yeah.
Well, I just also think, you think of the second and third order effects of the Civil Rights Act, and I just remember the way, to this day, or when I was living, impacted me. I was a part of a number of fraternities, which because the fraternities were social and professional, which is to say it was a social frat, but we all made sure to get each other jobs when we graduated, that the Civil Rights Act in the 70s forced them to become integrated. And so it was a frat that had chicks in it because and it completely destroyed the name of the group, which was, hey, this is a way to teach young men how to be gentlemen, get us our first job out of college. And I think that a lot of the disparities in female versus male outcomes occurred not because there's obviously affirmative action for women, but it's that there were so many structures that were effectively social affirmative action for men, which was just hey, let me help you out, that became criminal, and then nothing replaced them. And now there's just a shit ton of men who don't know how to become adults or get their first job because there just used to be all of these social clubs or gentlemen's clubs, not gentlemen's clubs like strip clubs, but cigar lounges where you would go and be hey, how do I be a man?
Mohan, back to your point about the Civil Rights Acts or equivalents have been they were effective, and I think you're right. Mission accomplished. And I think that would be a great way for a politician to put a flag in the ground and say, mission accomplished. That's why we need to get rid of it because we're integrated. We learned all the things we needed to learn.
I I don't think there is, and so there's only two ways that it'll get fixed. One is the Supreme Court route of the Supreme Court without politics just being like, we're going to sunset this. The other is going to be, you're going to need a probably racial reactionary Nick Fuentes retard to do the Donald Trump playbook. Where remember, like, people think about Donald Trump now, and we kind of forget how much of a retard he was 8 or 9 years ago when he was like, I'm going to build the wall, Mexico's going to pay for it, I'm going to ban all Muslims from entering this country. And he did none of that, right? And I think we're going to need like a Nick Fuentes style, like, I'm going to make interracial marriage illegal kind of guy. To like get this kind of thing passed. And I don't want to live in the world where that kind of person becomes president.
Yeah, but you're describing like somebody almost new policy that would be like the opposite of the Civil Rights Act. I didn't think that when you started.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say is, hey, we did it. Let's stop. And I think that the pendulum is going to swing back to segregation, and it's going to be a segregationist movement that removes the Civil Rights Act in order to segregate.
I see it. I get you.
do this.
Make it look terrible, then you come to the table and you look like the savior. It's the theory that because I just graduated from this, and they talk about what's called a heroic manager, right? And there are these people that they come to the table with this thought process of you create a crisis, you manage the crisis, and then you look like the hero. And that's what the Trump administration does.
Rez, I was thinking about visiting friends in the Bay Area. I think you said you're working in the airline industry in the Bay Area. Like going to California, you know what kind of delays Oakland or SFO has?
Oakland right now hasn't taken any because, it's a really small airport, so the delays aren't much. But right now, SFO is really not in good shape at all. The delays right now are terrible. You might want to check with your local area, but there's been massive delays currently.
Yeah, Rez, I got a flight Tuesday to LA. I've already gotten emails that my flight was delayed already.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, LA is really bad because it's one of the major airports that is here. It's one of the 40 that was targeted on the list of the major cities that was identified because LA it's always had heavy traffic, but it's one of the harder ones because it was one of the ones that there's always been problems trying to have enough air traffic controllers out of. So unfortunately, LA is one of those places. It was one of the target cities. So yeah, sorry.
No worries. All right. Real quick, I don't know if I heard this top BBC leader resigned over Trump January 6th speech. Anybody heard anything about that?
Wait, what? Say that again?
Top BBC leaders resigned.
Yeah, the CEO resigned, and I think the news director.
Wow. Okay. But with January 6th speech, why would they resign over?
No, it was on a documentary.
Which one, your mom? I'd love to watch it. That's why I said, I'm a documentary freak. I love
Can you give the headline again? I missed it.
You're trying to get me in trouble. I'm not doing it. I am not.
I love your laugh, First Lady.
Is it? I don't have time to be sneaky. But I just wanted to let MAGA know that the magnet that you called for seems like a lot of them are.
Yeah. Bring them up. Come on, Mac. I want to hear.
I was pinging. I'm trying to ping them in here so that they can come in and speak for themselves.
Your brethren, you was getting your brethren together.
He was advised.
He be needing his backup.
Yeah.
Hey, backup. I just felt they needed to be to represent. I mean,
Omari was feeling his ass in the wind, so he called for his.
No, he was asked to call.
Crazy work.
I'm surprised y'all let your mama lie the way she did. She said she had a flight. You know that woman had never been on an airplane. Y'all just let people come in here and lie.
Oh my God.
The only time she been on an airplane when she was working with Cole fixing the sandwich.
See, look, y'all know I'm out in the field somewhere. Okay.
Yeah, she in the colored section.
In the field.
She in the colored section. They got colored section on airplanes now. Otherwise, she ain't there.
I was cleaning the plane. That's what you didn't know. I was cleaning the plane.
No, we knew you was a Cole.
She was cleaning the plane, your mama. Oh my God.
Can the MAGAs come up and explain Tuesday?
Y'all got the biggest racist MAGA up in here. Ooh, Lord.
Hey, I was just gonna say,
there's no such thing as racist MAGA.
At some point,
Yes, we're done.
They're talking off a lot.
The Supreme Court, the tariffs within the Supreme Court. At some point, we should chat about that because what happens to the tariff credit if the tariffs are ruled unconstitutional is something we should talk about.
And you gonna take that money back.
They ain't giving us no check back.
You can't unilaterally release these checks anyway without Congress. So what are y'all what is going on?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't understand like that line of thinking. Like they're ruling on the case right now, whether like, is it like IEEPA or something like that?
AIPA.
Whatever. If they rule that like unconstitutional or whatever the word is for it, what happens to the economic policy of the U.S. after that?
I mean, we're fucked anyway because all this is made up. He's not giving us tariff checks. He's not giving us a Doge check. He's not giving us anything but a bigger check that we gotta somehow magically find to pay these motherfucking bills. That's gonna be higher. They're retarded, and they're in their trailer parks mad as soon as they realize they're gonna get That's what the word racist, Matt. I'm so sick of this bitch. Yeah, you do got Matt. Oh yeah, you got Matt Cool. You got Matt P. You got Pure Blood. I've tried to invite all of them. Like brothers, that's all they're doing around here. Brother Messi was saying, you're probably not a MAGA anymore. Let me ask you, Omar. Like, I'm not. Are you demagnetized? You were referring to MAGA as they. So this is a serious question for you, Omar. Serious question. Do you identify as they then? I identify. Tell the truth. Shame the devil.
I am not my brother's keeper.
Oh, you have demagnetized? Yeah, Amari has been on a slow but sure campaign. And I clocked it I want to say about a week ago. And I was like, oh, Amari actually's not that bad. Oh, I clocked it 2 weeks ago, Matt. You late. He was demagnetizing 2 weeks ago.
I mean, Shadow knows me. I've been demagnetized for longer than that.
Omari has like a soliloquy on Twitter of him saying that he's no longer part of the Conservative Party, even though he comes in here and defends and nail every single day. It's very strange to me, Omari.
He just is playing the contrary, and I think it's just for entertainment purposes. You know how people put that on TikTok when they're saying something that's about misinformation? For entertainment purposes only. I think that's Omari. He's just being silly at this point. You know Mike P is the real MAGA though, so Mike P, why don't you come upstairs, girl, with your bald head, bitch?
No, Mike P's not MAGA either, trust me.
No, he is MAGA to the third power. Stop it. That's not
I'll let him come and speak for himself, because
the crazy part
he has shared some things with me that he's not.
The crazy part about the shutdown is that these MAGAs were saying that it's the Democrats' fault, and now that we're in a place where obviously it's not their fault, now it's both sides need to come to the table, even though we know the real culprit.
And I'm upset about the fact, I just read that thinking that myself for saying that earlier because I wouldn't look it up. It's still them, I think, capitulating, but I guess it's as good as we're going to get at this point. I know that they're still getting a promised vote in the Senate on the ACA stuff in December because it doesn't mean Mike Johnson's even going to put it on the floor in the House. So it's just kind of like, what are we really getting in this? So I know talks are still fluid, so I'm going to wait to see what final language looks like, but I would be very upset if they aren't able on this.
But it suggests to me that the government will only be funded through when it's time to get that vote, so then they can shut it down again, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
But this time it'll be different because if they have at least one of the things they want.
Maybe that's what, I guess that's fine. I mean, I just need them, if they get the vote through the Senate, when is Mike Johnson ever going to put it up? I mean, they're going to have to do some other kind of wheeling and dealing around something else potentially for him to give us a vote in the House. It's just silly.
I'm telling my husband to retire. I've been telling him to retire, but if they do this dumb thing till January, get those papers now, even though June will make 20 years again with the government. Just go ahead and get the fuck out because this is ridiculous.
April told him drop them papers.
It's going down.
Good Samaritan. Matt G, no one cares if you're upset or not. Well, no one cares if you're alive or not. So, I mean, is this really like a conversation? You're MAGA. So, y'all are the reason why we're here. Do you feel happy people are starving and children are starving, and that even if we end the shutdown, that more children will be starving in 2027 when the OBBB kicks in? And your SNAP benefits for tons and tons of people, millions of people is cut when you find out they've lost their Medicaid. I mean, and if the ACA doesn't happen, are you happy kids might die from this? You're a fucking piece of shit. Just like the rest of your disgusting kin that voted for this nasty orange monkey with the wig on. And I guess you're upset that I have a problem that this is going to happen to people inevitably. You're a loser. You're not a good Samaritan. You a bad pussy ass nigga. Now stay in the goo and shut the fuck up and keep my name out your mouth, ho.
Man, I cannot wait until you run, because you know my vote all day, every day, and twice on a Sunday. Hello, thank you. Period. You whatever. Hate on me. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, you got my vote.
Hey man, when you start your channel,
we gonna see.
What's that channel on?
I don't know why they're so afraid to come upstairs though. They want to stay in the basement. Like Drew.
That's where that's because that's their origin. They origin in the basement, Matt. You already know. They've been basement bitches for how long?
Basement bitches, cave dwellers.
Period.
Sewage
sludge. Hello? Okay, thank you. They can't talk real politics because none of them never been in those spaces ever. They always been the ones that been on 2K playing in their mama basement. They still talking trash from their mama basement, and that's where they go always be. In their mama basement, they MAGA basement, mama basement, politic talking, trash talkers.
They sit in their mama's basement jacking off the Japanese anime porn. They're losing hentai porn. And you got pure blood in the chat, right? The quote unquote Black American Indian, pretendian, which ain't nothing on you, but ain't nothing black about you but your feet, bitch. You need to stop pretending to be something that you're not. I know you're upset about it. You're never getting whatever reparations you think you're getting. You're going, honey. You might be deported back to Africa before this is all over. I don't know what's going on. You think you're an American. You're not a bred American. You're not from here, bitch. You were taken and brought here. It's time to wake up and smell the fucking coffee. Put the feathers down and understand your place, right? Figure it out, bitch. Trying to say something about me, bitch. Don't I give a fuck about your broke ass? You just like the other Dollar Tree worker that was up in here trying to talk shit. Your friend Matt Cool? Yeah. Your butt broke buddy, and you're mad about it. And I know you didn't know what butt breaking means. You are a plantation product, like the rest of us. So shut the fuck up. You don't come from no motherfucking tent, bitch. Figure your life out. Identity crisis having motherfucker.
And all y'all can do is be in the goo and throw insults in the chat. Y'all are weird.
They're just trying to read me. I didn't even read these bitches. They were trying to all read me in the chat together.
Yeah, because they're keyboard warriors. That's all they've ever been. They're the same keyboard warriors that be on X, the same keyboard warriors that be on Instagram, the same keyboard warriors that are boring, keyboard warriors that do nothing but be on keyboards. I'm so over y'all, please. Cry me a keyboard. Hello?
I have a question I just have a quick question right quick. So MAGA right now is really pissed off about the 50-year
payment
loan.
The mortgage.
Yeah. Are y'all with them on that one? Like thinking that's a bad idea? Because I'm trying to figure that out. Like what's wrong with giving options? You don't have to take it, but eventually you'll get equity.
50 years? 50. I want you to think about what 50 years of your life is. Who is going to be around for 50 years to pay a mortgage payment? Does that make sense, Omari?
How old is the average home buyer?
Right.
How old is the average home buyer?
35 to 40.
Yeah.
Right. So think about that.
Years old. Unless you refinance, you're going to be paying that mortgage off.
Right. And the average lifespan in the United States is 70 to 75. So make that make sense, Omari.
So what I'm thinking about is like, our family had the house in Altadena that burned down, right? So we had that house since the 60s.
It doesn't make sense. Oh my God.
Pay it off, Omari. Like,
you're not even listening to your own argument. Like our grandparents and parents have had homes like for more than 50 years.
Not with a 50-year mortgage. What do you 50-year mortgage.
You're talking about home ownership and not the actual mortgage loan, bro.
Right. He's saying instead of passing down, a house,
So the economy, this economy that, like the fallacy that the economy is made where you own. I mean, that is part of the economy, but for the most part, the reason why we're talking about 84-month car loans and 96-month car loans and 40 and 50-year home loans is for affordability, so that you can build some sort of equity, as opposed to no ownership because you can't afford the monthly.
How can you build equity in 50 years? What?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you getting? I'm lost, bro.
You want me to explain to you? You want to tell me?
Oh, you really are. There's something wrong with you.
Yeah, explain who benefits.
You were trying to go into like car talk for a second, Trent. That's why I was
No, it's the same thing. Like there was a time when the thought of a 36-month loan for a car was crazy.
Car depreciates in value. Why are you paying off a loan? Why would you be paying off a loan for 96 months when the car itself won't be worth that in 96? What is the point of doing that? Do you not know what you work in cars? Don't you build them, make them, ship them, create them, think of them, whatever the fuck you do? Don't you do something in cars? What is going on, Trent?
Let me tell you how. Do you want to tell me how?
I do, because I already did, and you don't know what you're talking about.
Please don't send out.
Well, look. I don't think I would personally take on a 50-year mortgage, just like I wouldn't take on a 96-month car loan. But right now, would I take? I actually have a 72-month car loan right now. I don't think it's a bad thing if depending on the interest rate. Always depends on the interest rate. Depends on the principal payment. While the average trade-in car price right now is at an all-time high as well.
The same thing. Oh my! I can't do this. These aren't the same thing. Like you're comparing a 50-year mortgage loan to an 8-year car loan. Like you're not going to be alive.
Yeah.
Like what are you doing, dude? Like this is
You could trade your car in. You're not trading your house in. What are you talking? That's so super fucking weird.
Yes, I can. One second, please. As we know, I have some thoughts for you, Trent. Go ahead, I am. Emptiness lies a truth far darker.
Let's call it what it is, nonsense, but I think we're all playing the game. Most businesses answer to shareholders. Typically, the job of the CEOs to increase profits. And how do you do that over the years? Pass it on to the consumer, extend the loan, etc. Yeah, does it hurt people? Absolutely, but I've never seen a Hyundai that was $65,000, and it's okay to happen. So that's why you see loans are longer terms, mortgages have longer terms, because you need more capital to purchase these items. And how are they going to break it up? Well, they haven't came up with a great idea yet. It all sucks. It sucks for you, sucks for me. Get a loan and get ready to pay for it literally for the rest of your life and probably your children's.
Well, you're forgetting the American way, right? I mean, thank you for. You on point. But the man said affordability. That's the key. That's the name of the game. That's why from the mortgage game, that's my wheelhouse right there for sure. For many years, we had a 5-location business in Chicago. So bottom line is, when you're talking about mortgages, it's about affordability. We used to have, the 20-year mortgage, and then the 10-year mortgage was really the big deal. Then the 30-year mortgage came out. They said that would never work. Then we got the 40-year mortgages, right? So it's all about affordability. And we're a credit society. We live and die by the credit. This whole country, $38 trillion now in debt. I mean, let's face it. How many people have paid off a car? Paid it off in full, free and clear. I mean, you don't get a chance to do that. But when you pass it on, and it's in your will, it's in your living trust. You have ways of chunking down and getting. Once you get in it, ownership is really the key, right?
I paid off 3 cars. Let's not do that. That is so much bullshit.
That's cool. That's good. That's good. I am business finance major. That's it. So
these lies because they're not actual assets, especially if they're depreciable.
Exactly. are not cars are depreciating assets, number one. And if you paid it off in cash, that's the worst investment you could possibly make because you lost a lot of money if you didn't invest that money.
That's not true.
Okay? Very true. Very true.
That's not true. If you keep a payments up on a car, you plan on intending to use it as an intended property. Then yes.
Well, you can leverage that. It's just like a house right now. If you buy a property, and that property, even though you're going into massive debt, if you are bringing in more revenue than you're paying out, your net positive cash flow, you're doing good.
And stop telling these people's lies. One thing ownership is you want to have ownership, but you don't want to have to actually own anything. You want control of everything. So that's horrible finance going on too.
Whoa, that's right.
You're telling people have these items and things. If anything, I would say lease the car. Or if you're not going anywhere. So you're doing most of your business in your town.
You got more control. You got more control with it. The leasing is you get the contract.
Affordable. That's the point I'm
trying to make. That's true. That's a good point. Good point.
I'm trying to make.
We agree on that. We agree on that.
It's requiring people to work more jobs. You used to be able to work 1 40-hour job and have a family, and then be one person working. Now you need two. Now you need two plus a side hustle, a business, and something else. None of this is affordable, and it's all by design. How much consumerism are you going to be a part of? Determines what it's going to be like.
It's leverage. We're going to leverage this. People come. I am. Listen. People come from all over the world to do business in America. We still one of the best. Leverage. Yeah. Come on. Right.
Depending on where they're coming from, depending on where they're buying the home, and depending on what they're buying the home at, and let's say, and I'm just throwing a number out there, so don't kick my ass. They're coming in. Okay. They're coming into Atlanta, Georgia. They're buying a home. It's a $300,000 home. They're putting 20% down, which is $60,000 now. Have to finance this home at 50 years.
To afford it.
Okay. In order for them to afford the home, you're telling them that they now are going. It's going to now take them until they're 80 years old to pay. Let me. Oh my fucking God.
You guys are getting that wrong though. It's not 30, it's 40.
Oh my God. Please allow me to finish.
But listen, the average home buyer now is 40 years old.
Oh my God. Please allow me to finish.
All right, let Ross finish, and I'm going to do the breaking news. Go ahead.
Please.
Thank you. Well, go ahead and do the breaking news.
No, it's off topic.
No, go ahead and do the breaking news.
It's off topic.
Somebody's in the chat talking about my Calvin Klein V-Nex t-shirt on. My God.
Breaking news.
Yeah, this is killing me.
Dude, let's go.
So sports news. Sorry, that was killing me.
Do it.
Pitchers just got indicted by the feds.
Oh, we don't give a fuck. That was not good breaking news.
Gotcha. It kind of is. It actually is, Rez, because it's actually a big problem, the way people sports betting. But if you think going back and forth with a man doesn't know anything, who said you could pass on your card note to your children is better percent of your time.
I said house, no man, don't misquote me. I said the property.
Does it have anything to do with the Cosa Nostra family? Is that like?
It's not breaking news. We'll do it another time.
It's not breaking news.
As Riz says, a thing that is destroying young men, destroying families, people sports betting, taking their retirements out. That doesn't matter. What is important is talking about a 50-year mortgage, which will never happen. Y'all, what do you think?
It is important because what we are talking, but we started talking about it because at the end of the day, it is important because if the possibility of somebody talking about us possibly going into this 50-year mortgage, or we talked about the fact that there was time where we didn't have 40-year mortgages or 30-year mortgages, but it did happen, and now we're possibly talking about 50-year mortgages. That is scary, and we do need to talk about that.
This question, what's the difference between that and what's been going on? Most people, let's be honest, don't pay off their homes. That's not true. Most people will not pay off their homes, and then you have people that go actually and get into reverse mortgages because can't afford
You get into reverse mortgages because of scheming and lying in this country.
Hold on, can I finish? I want you to get the concept. There's no difference than somebody saying, okay, your mortgage terms are now 50 years, and now you can afford to have this mortgage, and you're only paying $1,000 versus paying $3,000. They didn't do nothing but extend the terms of the loan and probably tack on some interest, hopefully at a fixed rate. There's no difference than what's been going on in the country when you've had a 30-year mortgage. You get your 30-year mortgage, you rip out 20%. Usually that's retirement money, unless your parents set you up or you have a nice nest egg. Most people rip out their retirements to pay for the down payment on their house. Now they're broke, retirement broke. Now you have a house. You have a new house you need to keep repairs on for the next 30 years to keep it up, any improvements, etc. And you rip that money out of either HELOCs or retirement. So now you're still broke. You put all your money into the house. And trust me, because I get the calls all the time. These people say, I worked all my life, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, now for my house. And now you too broke to keep the taxes up because you've retired with no money because you ripped it all out into your house.
That's why you go cash flow. That's right. You're right.
So I'm just saying, I'm not saying that this applies to everybody, but there is some cyclical, and the numbers are very high.
I'm not
due to this adverse process that most people are not even paying their houses off with 30-year mortgages. They actually need an extended to have the extra capital to pour into that house. So yes, if your loan extension is 50 years and you're paying maybe $1,000 versus you were paying $3-4 grand a month for your mortgage, I'm not sure how that math calculates, but hypothetically you can make more repairs on your house and do more crap with the house. And hopefully value stamp, or you just end up upside down. And so, in short, there's really no difference.
Yeah, but
there is a difference.
Let me ask. So if people can't afford, one second. Go ahead, Rez. I know you.
Can you tell me people don't have their house paid?
She was asking me. I've had 2 houses paid off, but that's another conversation. I'm not going there with that. And there's several people in my family that had houses and do have homes paid off, but that's a different conversation. I'm not getting into the nuances of that. I am saying to you at the end of the day that it's about how you buy your homes and what you do and
Zach
how
spent
you
years
do it.
platforming
Again,
Fauci
I'm not
and
getting into
censoring
all of that
critical
because
research and
my
analysis into the
situation is different.
COVID-19
It's
mass
very
vaccination
nuanced, and I'm not going to go
adverse
down
reactions.
that
Zach later
slippery
issues
slope
an apology
of
to
that
Trump for censoring
conversation.
him and Americans.
Again, here
Zach
we
and
go
Priscilla Chan
with
cannot
the
be
smart
trusted
ass
because of
comments. I'm
upholding
not
American
doing that.
liberty, freedom of speech, and
Again,
thought.
I'm
They also
not
didn't
doing that.
vaccinate or
What
COVID-19
I'm going to
vaccine
say,
their children. Same with Bill Gates and his family. Did you suffer or know someone who suffered an adverse and lethal reaction to the Pfizer, Moderna, or J&J COVID-19 mass vaccine?
done well as far as the market
Priscilla
is concerned,
Chan.
and know
Can
how to
Zuckerberg, Gates, LaHood, Fauci please
manage
take a
money
photo of their
properly,
vax card
who
or
have done
injection
pretty
to
well
prove
when it comes
COVID-19
to managing their
vaccination and
homes
booster
and their
status?
mortgages. And it's all about how you manage your money and do the right thing. Again, the market, we do know this, that back in 2008, we had a problem with the market. The market had to correct itself. And we learned a big problem from that. We are now removed from that. So at some point, we got to take some understanding that the market had to correct itself. A lot of people who should not have been in the home buying market literally got loans that were jacked up, and we have seen the residuals from that. But previous to that, we didn't have that issue. But people were paying their homes off. Let's not pretend like we didn't have people who had homes, who had 20 and 30-year mortgages and didn't pay those homes off and didn't pass those homes off from generation to generation, because they did. And I think that's a disingenuous conversation. They were paying their homes off.
That's right.
So that's a very disingenuous conversation, I am, and we gotta stop this shit. The market tanked because people got greedy at some point.
That's right.
And started doing dumb shit.
I helped them make the money. I put
the numbers on that.
We put $2.3 billion into the marketplace during that run up, right? And I was part of the 08 crisis, so it took my business out. That was the biggest crash we've ever seen. It took me 3 years to unwind. We did $16 million in our final year in business. It took me 3 years to unwind the damn thing, though. It was so at the top, the Ponzi scheme was so large and so big. It was a devastating blow and a devastating process. I mean, some people are still digging out, haven't recovered from the 08 crisis yet, right? Because that kind of thing goes on. There was a time when we paid those homes off, and that was a good old days. We need to get back to that. And the black community was the leader of, because we couldn't get our loans, we couldn't get loans from the banks, so we had our own economy going. And that's what we have to talking about that in one of our meetings not too long ago, a few days ago, because that is the key. When people panicking with this government being shut down, but when we think about it, yeah, we're losing a lot of jobs, but we get back to the basics of what we used to do. Back in the civil rights movement, we had less jobs then. The government gave us those jobs because we fought for them. But before that, we were doing just fine. And guess what? We held up the whole company, Cadillac. Cadillac sold the cars because the black folks was buying the Cadillacs. That's where the reputation came from. Cash, mattress money. When the banks crashed, everybody lost their money, but black folks were up at that particular part because we couldn't get into the banking system where we had a lot of our money buried on our land and things we paid for and things we owned. So that was really a part of the process. And now we're in the credit system. Now we got to learn how to work the credit system and use cash flow. So generating cash flow is the key to give you that edge. You buy on affordability, sure, you leverage it, but you make the cars work. You got Turo, you got co-living, you have veterans housing and special needs housing. You can make that house pay for itself 10 times over. Right now, did you know you can get a house, a 4-bedroom house, and rent it out to sober living people and get almost $800 or $800 to $1,000 per person? That's almost $7,000 a month. Your mortgage is not going to be there. I don't care what your house is.
Please, Mod, come on.
No, y'all gotta take it. Okay, he's done. Okay.
Sound like you're gonna start selling us a course.
I'm done. No. That's it.
He Brent Cardone with that Calvin Klein V-neck on.
None of this is relevant to the previous
I like my V-necks now. Leave me alone.
None of this is relevant to the conversation that was previously about 50-year mortgage. Right? So housing is supply constrained. Adding more demand to a supply constrained market without addressing the supply constraint is going to skyrocket the prices. Moreover, this is not really a good environment with stable inflation and interest rates, which is going to, and 50-year mortgage would make those people even more vulnerable to interest rate fluctuations. It's going to skyrocket the prices, which is going to erase any affordability arguments whatsoever, right? And it's going to make housing even more expensive for everybody else, not only those people.
No, I mean, no. Look, the reason. So look, I understand what you're saying, but yeah, if the interest rate, this is like the misnomer. If the interest rate is similar on a 50-year term, it's 40-year, well, it'll maybe higher. But if you're getting a similar interest rate, it allows more young people, because the average entry into the market of home ownership is now 40 years old. It allows more.
Why would the interest rate be similar? Why do you make an argument based off something you know that won't be true? Because this is the same as 30. Like you just literally said, one second. I want you to hear yourself. If the interest rates are similar, they won't be. But if they were, I'm going to give my point. We know they won't be similar.
Okay.
If the Raiders are a good quarterback and a good team, they win the AFC West. They don't. So why are we talking about the Raiders? Come on, bro. Like, keep the combo moving.
No, so we are keeping the combo. Look, the interest rate, people don't recognize this a lot. And I go back to autos because it's.
People don't recognize. Please don't. Americans don't recognize interest rates are high. No, is this your special insight, bro? Why you let that shiny?
He wants to talk about cars. Keep him on track.
I don't want to talk about cars, but they're actually the same thing. Same thing.
So actually.
You a Zanga too. What's wrong with that?
Maybe I got a Zanga. That's one of my favorites.
Can you give a comment based off the fact that you know that interest rates will not be the same? 1 second.
No. The interest
rate. 1 second. Let me ask the question. Because you just said. Can you respond based off the fact we know interest rates won't be the same and it will also increase home prices? Answer that question.
I do think it will. I will agree with neoliberal. It would probably increase home prices because it's going to increase the amount of people that are able to purchase a home. However, if the interest rate is like a point higher, I don't know what the interest rate will be on 50-year mortgage, but we're talking a point and a half higher, then I would say you might want to consider a 40-year mortgage.
a 40-year loan. Just like if you're talking about, and just let me land this Megamisa, because a lot of people don't understand this. A lot of people will not take they'll lock themselves into a 60-month loan, because that's like what is in their head, when the interest rate on the 72-month or the 75-month is the exact same. And a lot of people, like Drew was talking about, need a cushion, right? If you can make the payment on a 72-month loan, okay, or you can make let me do numbers on this. If the payment on a 16-month loan is $600 bucks a month at 1.9%, and the payment on is $550, right, or $525, a 72-month loan, but the interest rate is also 1.9%. Just take the 72 months. You can still get the $600 payment. You're going to pay it off in the same amount of time. But like Drew's saying, you're managing the credit just in case something happens. You got that $75 cushion per month should you need it.
Okay, Trent, a couple of things. Comparing 72-month car loans, a depreciating asset with a 50-year mortgage is absolutely asinine.
Exactly.
I mean, it's utterly. I literally. You just got to finish. How come Trent got to finish his? I can't finish. I just started. But let me just finish the point. Everybody knows who owns a home that interest is front loaded. You won't even begin to start making a debt on the principal for years.
Unless, my brother, there are ways to do that. Yes, go ahead, please. I'm just wondering.
You know what? Is this true?
It is.
You said that black people were doing fine during the Great Depression.
My God.
Well, I'm almost done. Why should we listen? Because they had cash in the mattress. My great-grandpappy, your grandpappy's and great-grandpappy's were so young, some of them young. Who were tenant farmers in Alabama and in the South where most black people lived. We're doing fine in the 1930s when black poverty rates were over 70%. Why should we listen to anything you're about to say?
My caveat. Well, okay, let me ask that question very briefly, okay? Because what I said was their power shined at that time because they were the only ones with cash. So
by being lynched and kept out of public accommodation, black people. They had 2 gold coins and a lucky feather from their Indian grandmama in the mattress.
That was going to happen anyway, right? That we're doing because we were already under that gun, brother. But what happened was we finally got recognized in our own way, and that's why they keep.
Who recognized black people in the 1930s?
But guess what though? A lot of people, because we had towns, we had our own economy. We had our own economy, brother.
Who recognized black people in the 1930s?
Look at the history of those towns that were.
That's what I'm asking you. They bombed the town.
Okay. So listen.
They bombed the town.
You're talking to a black activist. First of all,
I don't care if I'm talking to the black Johnny Neutron.
I don't know.
Tell me. One second here. Tell me what you want, Dr. Drew Hill. Tell me what power black people had during the Great Depression.
Well, first of all, you have to know that we had black senators back in 1895.
I got you. No more black senators left. Hold on, bro. The black senators had been gone by that point. By 1895.
Well, that's when they got ran out. Just before that. So I want to refer you.
1930.
Okay, got it. We're going forward. I'm just telling you the progress. When we think about the 1930, we didn't just lose that. That was taken from us. We had gained power right after the Civil War and right after emancipation. During that whole time frame, we began the Reconstruction. Now we began to gain power, and then we lost it. The fights came on, and then we gained power again at a certain period of time. Then we had the big raids, the 1919 Red Summer. 1919, the 1619 project way back before that. Okay, of course that.
The 1619 project. That was 5 years ago.
No. The 1619 project was the attack on black folks. Is what I'm trying to say. The bottom line is we have these points where we rise up and then we get knocked down, right? So 1930s, even though we were. I'm not giving the dates. Give me the time. Let me point it home, bring it home for you, because in that time frame was when everybody else was suffering. Because of our suffrage, we already knew what to do, and we had resources we could get, and we're the only ones in town with cash. We're the only ones that people had leaned on. Even white folks, good white folks, were borrowing money from people who were holding the family up. We didn't just work in the houses and in the labor departments. We had other means that we were used to that gave us a certain endurance and resilience, where we were able to get some respect. And then they came and took it away again. Right?
Like what?
Well, I'm not denying what happened now. Don't get me wrong. I'm not.
What does it mean to work in? What it's like you said they worked in labor departments. Were they delivering babies? What are you talking about?
The Department of Labor. I mean the economy. They were laborers in the economy, right?
Yeah,
in the houses.
Like what?
Porters, service people, you know, and we had our own. We had our own farms. We had things that we were doing too in economy that were working effectively. Now, you know, don't make me a historian, because that's not my wheelhouse. Well, I do know the facts of the economy, and when you look at the economic factors of that those are things that we do. Home ownership has been a problem.
Let me give you the facts. Black unemployment during Great Depression soared to 50% compared to 31% of whites, right?
Okay, go ahead.
Black Americans were first to be laid off. Right, wages for Black Americans average at least 30% lower than those of white workers. Right, deepening economic inequality. Like this is a complete myth. Like all economic depressions, sadly, in the United States, hurt first and foremost Black people the most, especially Great Depression. But Great Depression sadly is not an exception; it's like a rule. Right, the same happened during Great Financial Crisis in 2008, which was the compensation. But again, give me one economic metric.
Before he does that, Drew, I just want to say, Drew, if you would have said, I'm not even going to be smart about this. If you would have said, I like how Black folks was a family in the community, you might would have got some agreement with that. But bro,
Shout out to the Black man with the baby.
Y'all appreciate it. But Drew, you have no sense of history of knowing like the actual facts of what really happened, bro. And that's where you fell in this whole argument. I ain't gonna
go ahead. So
if you just stop when you said I like how Black folks was a family in a community, you'd have got hand claps and people probably would have gave you some money. But everything else after that, bro, that shit going down.
Okay, got it. And I can understand where you're saying that. I'm not saying the battle wasn't a fierce battle, and what we did for economic parity and equality, we've been fighting that. We're fighting that battle now. The income gap is wider than ever, but we still have it out. Obviously, it is.
The income gap is not wider than ever.
I'm sorry, the wealth gap and the income inequality, both two different things, right?
I know that. That's why I said it's not the wealth gap.
The wealth gap. Okay, we got it. You corrected me on the language. My bad. I'll use the proper terms. But the wealth gap and the income inequality is worse than ever right now, right?
Income inequality is not worse than ever across the races. Are you familiar with Are you familiar with the period that you're talking about?
Oh no. I'm talking about now, my brother. In income inequality the wealth gap and income inequality is a big deal right now. It's spread. It hasn't gotten any better.
Compared to than ever. You mean the income? So the income gap now is worse than it was in 1810.
Let me get those facts for you. I'll be right back. Okay.
Slaves in 1810.
Let me get to you on that.
Drew, don't go far. See, listen, this is what he does, right? He tries to trip you up with
shut up. No one wants to hear that. Be quiet.
Thank you, brother. Thanks for that education.
Didn't hear that long. TC, we're having a good time.
The one guy chastised Drew.
TC, we're having fun. Please chill, bro. Nobody's doing anything these things. Just chill out, bro. TC, just chill out, man. We're chilling. We're having a fun time. TC, come on, bro.
You can settle yourself in a minute. Give us a few. You can settle yourself in a minute.
Imagine going to school at Liberty University.
So this is what they do. They do the humiliation. You're not wrong. You're right. But since they want to humiliate you, and then they do the pile on, this makes it seem like they're right and you're wrong, and you can't get your words out.
TC was traumatized by you.
Income inequality. And you don't have to run from your positions.
Income inequality. I do like clarity, though. I do like clarity, and sometimes people have points, man. I'm good with it. I don't have to be right.
Hold on a second, TC. Hold on a second, TC. Hold on, TC. Were you here when he said that black people, because they kept their money in their mattresses in the 1930s, weren't hit, were better off than white people in the Great Depression? Were you here for that?
Let the man get his words out.
Here for that.
The peanut gallery and the humiliation is rhetorical.
I never said better then. I never said better off.
Yes, you did. You said they had it.
Did I misspoke?
You literally said they.
Allow me to retract that. Allow me the correction. I misspoke.
Don't back down. This is what they do.
Oh my God.
Hold up.
Let them have the
figure back and forth.
Respect for retraction.
He wasn't even here.
You wasn't telling the other guy that when he was telling Drew that he should have stopped.
Oh my God. Why are we crying in this room, TC?
You're always trying to save somebody, bro. Damn.
He has something to say to me. Go open your own room. Everybody knows. Drew talking about blacks in the Great Depression because they had money in the couch was doing fine. Stop.
Well, he did say he misspoke, so respect for that.
Yes, he can take it back now.
Yeah.
Damn, we got Mercy in here. Huh? Okay, cool. That's good.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Y'all want to go back to the 50-year mortgage? You talking about St. Tired people? People just killing lots of football teams. Get a fucking life.
Here's what I
It's
understand.
real cowardly. Why don't you guys do a one-on-one? Why do you guys always call up? Do a one-on-one. Stop being
I'm good. I'm a big boy. I can handle it though, brother. It's good.
We were doing a one-on-one, then you got involved. We were doing a one-on-one.
So listen. No, I will stand on this, guys. Okay, here's what the real deal is, right? The Genius Act, right? Okay, the Clarity Act, all right, and the Anti-CBDC Act, okay, all passed in the month of July this year, right, by the administration. And I want you guys to do some research on that because I'm an AI specialist right now. I'm telling you right now, with the crypto and the decentralized finance, where these dollars we're talking about right now, this 50-year mortgage, all this will matter not in a few moments here because it's all going to be washed into something different. And I want you guys to be aware and just do your research. Don't base on what I'm saying. Just make sure your dollars and the money you're earning on your jobs have some place to go, and it matters somewhere, and you're in the right spaces, and you got your hands into where they're moving the economy. Hold on. This 38 trillion, right? So with 50-year mortgage, you have a major debt.
Hold on. Can he respectfully let Drew land? Go ahead.
Like, is he even talking about the same thing?
They get the line for fairness. We're asking for fairness. Let this be a fair one-on-one without the peanut.
Shut up.
Move Drew down. Please don't touch anyone. That's First Lady and Patty only. Mods, don't touch anybody.
He's not in the room, bro. I don't see.
Yeah, he wasn't dropped. He left.
He wasn't dropped.
He swiped up. The app's been lagging, so he might have come back in. So you got to do that sometime.
Let's don't assume that the mods have done anything with the glitches that Clubhouse has going on. Respectfully, do I?
Yeah, I don't see Drew in the room.
Yeah, I think he swiped out.
TC was definitely dropped with good reason.
I'm in the room, goddammit. Come for me.
Nobody was
I
talking
want to pick on somebody your own size. How about that?
What's the
Because he knows he can't do one-on-one with you. He has to do the humiliation thing where everybody piles on.
Move him down.
Do a one-on-one. Let's go. Any topic you want.
What about the First Lady?
Can they do the one-on-one without the...
Hold on, bro. I wasn't involved in the 50-year mortgage. I was trying to break the news on the baseball thing. What do you mean I'm trying to humiliate him? I wasn't even talking. I only brought something up when he said the thing about the Great Depression with black people putting money in their mattresses.
TC wasn't even in the room for that.
I know he wasn't in the room. Black unemployment was like 50% during the Great Depression. They were not doing better because they had money in the mattresses in the 1930s. I wasn't even in the topic.
That's not what he said. He didn't say that.
He said it before you got here.
All right. If you said it before he got here, when I came on stage, you know what I heard? I heard
yes,
income inequality is the greatest that has ever been. And you say, no, it's not. No, it's not. Are you crazy? All right, back to the 1800s. No, it's not. And then you guys pound on him.
Yo, you gotta
and then you let him support his argument.
You
weren't. So you guys are doing that humiliation shit. Let the man get his words out. Stop dropping him and stop muting him. You shut up. Who the fuck are you? You talking to TC, goddammit. You shut up.
Go enjoy your Sunday afternoon.
I'm so tired of his ass.
Hey, everybody wants to hear you eat on the mic. You eat, bitch. Shut up, bitch.
I don't know how y'all tolerate him all the time. It's just annoying, y'all.
It is. It's fucking stupid.
Can y'all move off of the mortgage topic? It's really just annoying at this point. Like, can you talk about the gambling scandal or whatever? Can you just move on from
No, Rez said that wasn't important, so we'll talk about it.
You could talk about it, Mac. I was just joking.
You got 3 houses paid off, do you think?
Oh my God. Do you have to be so
Actually, you do got 3 houses paid off. I think that might be the first non-billionaire person I know.
Are you hating? Are you hating?
No. I love that.
Because it sounds like you fucking hating on it.
Oh, come on now. I don't need that.
I counter Rez doesn't have 3 houses paid off until she shows us. No, I'm bullshitting.
You can look it up.
I'm bullshitting Rez. What's up with you, little lady?
Look, you stay ready.
On everybody.
Stay ready, Joe. I love that. You stay ready. You was not the last room I was in. What's up with you, mama?
Henry County, Georgia.
Like it's Infinity. See?
Cobb County, Georgia.
You asked for TC. You asked for Anthony.
In both counties.
And they coming in.
Yeah, both titles. In my fucking name.
What
What you talking about? You can look them bitches up. Yeah, okay.
How y'all ask for the MAGA? I ping the hell out of them and then y'all kick them. What's going on?
He just got here. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but as soon as Matt Finney start talking,
shut up. Like, it's crazy.
As soon as
You're
Matt
right,
Finney
Black Freedom. I don't have to prove shit to
Infinity
streets.
has been here for 30 seconds. Omari, relax.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see how he gets.
One lesson.
Manfinity's been on punishment lately. He can't really talk.
Manfinity, how do you feel about the tariffs, though?
See?
Decision?
No, not yet. I'm just curious what you think about them, because if they do make a decision that they're unconstitutional, what's going to happen to that credit? But yeah, I'm just curious. None of the MAGAs are too cowardly to come on stage, so that's what.
So I'm hoping that the Supreme Court allows for the tariffs to keep going, because I think if Trump has his way with the tariffs, I think it'll accrue to the American people's benefit.
Even if it's unconstitutional.
But he's already had his way with the tariffs. He's already done. Like, I don't. What more can he do besides get us in like?
No, but it takes time. It takes time. It takes time for things to actually take effect. 1 and 2.
But you guys said that in.
You have to. Yeah. What are we in November?
Yeah, we are in November.
I think.
The month is it? We're in the month of November, and I guess we had a surplus in June and a surplus in October. I don't know what that means as far as.
I think a lot is yet to be said. I mean, we've also been told since the beginning that there was going to be a huge inflation. Everybody's prices were going to go way through the sky. It materialized either. So
it has materialized. Just go to the grocery store.
It has materialized.
It definitely has.
Yeah, this is the thing the conservatives keep doing. They keep acting like, oh, we need more time to tell, we need more data, but like we're in a place where we have the data. Are we positive? Is this a net positive for the country? Like,
I'm sorry. I've always been taught that progress is not a straight line. Sometimes you take 10 steps back, 30 steps forward.
10 steps.
You can't take a linear approach and measure.
$2,000 stimulus check, that's what you're concerned about?
I say you can't measure progress in a straight line.
So your progress is a $2,000 stimulus check, that's what your progress is?
I didn't get a $2,000. What are you talking about?
That's what he's talking about. That's what he's talking about.
That's what I'm asking about because
Thank you.
That's what we're talking about. We're talking about the $2,000. Is it a stimulus? Or a line of credit?
He said it's a rebate check from the tariffs. That's what he said.
That's what it is. It's socialism.
Oh, that's a political move to get a lot of people voted, to get a lot of voters behind it because it's
no checks cut yet.
$2,000.
Here's the problem with
if that ever were to happen as a political.
Here's the problem with the stimulus. And I supported tariffs originally. I have to admit right now that tariffs are not going well. The problem with the postulation is the only reason I came in here, Magda and others, is good to see you. The problem with what he tweeted this morning, right, is if you take out everybody, we're going to call high income earners, everybody under over $100,000.
That's not about the tariffs, though.
It is. That's what he's talking about when he's talking about the stimulus. It's like he's talking about it coming from the tariff money. So yes, it is about the tariffs. The problem with what he's postulating is if you take out high income earners, like he said, that's everybody over 100,000. So that leaves approximately 140 million people available to get a $2,000 check. That is $280 billion. The tariffs to date have only generated 120 billion. So right there, you've got an offset of a little over about $150 billion. That's actually going to increase inflation, increase the debt. Not to mention,
is that true though, or are you just talking about revenue? You're not. That's not like $120 billion that's usable for the American people. You're just talking about the surplus from October. I don't know if what you're saying is correct.
Well, okay. Well, if you take roughly what they say as the money being generated from tariffs, it's about $120 billion. You can look it up. We can dispute the number. I don't know. That's fine. If you can find another number, that's fine. It doesn't matter.
The surplus from October is what I'm saying. I don't know what the way you're framing it is correct, but I could.
Okay. It's fine. You tell me how much.
I don't know. I'm asking you, is that different from the number that you're talking about?
I'm telling you that the tariff number that they put out that has been generated is $120 billion. If you have a different number, that's fine. It doesn't really matter to me, because the basis of this argument is socialism. The fact that you're excluding 15% of the highest income earners, who, by the way, are the people who generated a lot of this tariff income. So you're going to exclude people that make over 100,000, which is going to piss a lot of people off. Maybe you're going to push it to 150,000, but okay, still socialism, which is taking money away from the highest earning and giving it down to others, right? That's a problem. And the second problem is it is going to increase inflation, okay? And I don't think it pays for itself. If you think tariffs have generated more than $280 billion, you have a different figure, it'd be great. That would be good, because there's other analysts already saying that those numbers don't compute. That's my problem with this entire thing.
Trent, I think some of the math.
Just defining what socialism is. Like, you're kind of just throwing that word and you're not really, like, you should pull up the definition of what socialism is. What you're talking about is completely different.
I know it's socialism.
Trent, you just described just our regular taxation system.
But before you get into the weeds about this, I think Trent might actually, and I'd have to look at the data, might probably somewhere in there have the numbers on his side. But none of that shit matters, right? I'm gonna tell you why. Because all this is, Trent, is one, it'll never happen. And two, Donald is attempting to buy votes. That's it, that's all. There's a period at the end of that sentence. Donald's trying to buy votes. He'll say whatever that anybody will possibly believe in order to affect that. But that's all that's going on.
That's because he has his Guys, I apologize. I dropped out for a minute. My battery went dead. My bad. I didn't watch my power base. But I wanted to finish up on something before I go, and that was my cue to stop talking and get to work. Walk my dogs and do some other stuff. But listen, and thanks for that, Rob, because that was right on point. You're right. Buying votes. That's why he forced. Even though Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats passed the bill, the money for the stimulus checks, he put his name on those checks. That money was approved before he even got it off, before he even got where he needed to go. He signed that. He made sure his name was on that check. So he's trying to buy votes now, and that's all that is, right? And he got such success and so much windfall from that. Especially in this election, people are still talking about the check they got from Trump. So anyway, my point though, what I want to say is this, right? I'm going to talk to the moderators in this room. I think this is a fantastic room. We got a lot of bright people in this room. I love the energy, and we are our own solution. At the end of the day, the acts I gave you guys was all about the new financial system, the great financial reset. It's in motion. His kids are running crypto type operations right now. They're driving the laws to shift how the money's moving, because we're not paying that 38 trillion back. That's not going to happen. We're going to shift and keep control of the economy worldwide on a global scale, and that's through crypto and decentralized finance. That's where the money's going. One of the things, you guys, I want you to know, I'm a money guy. I sold money. I sold money for a living. That's what I do. So I follow the money, and the money is right now.
Over here lying again. Go ahead.
No. It's the truth. Absolutely. So the bottom line is that we need to be in position and have this cash flow. And I believe, and this is why I make sure all you guys are invited. There's no charge for it. It's a summit.
I knew it.
On the 25th.
I called.
No. What? I'm gonna give it to them. Oh,
We can buy your course for a small fee.
No. There's no course. There's no thing.
Nope, you don't advertise in this. Already know the.
No, I'm not adadvertising. I mean, it's an invitation.
The plug is crazy.
No, you got it.
The mods
Invitation.
say no. It's a no.
The mods say no? Okay, got it.
It's a no from the mods.
No problem.
Thank you. Thank you.
Done. No, it's good.
That was a crazy plug.
Then with that, Drew, how do you feel about how do you feel about your finances and with this current administration?
Well, my finances is current administration. I think that it's there's a lot of opportunity here. At the same time, there's a lot of devastation. It's a transfer of wealth. There's a lot of transfer going on. A lot of changes are happening, and if you don't know where the money's going, then you're going to feel that what's going to happen to the dollar. If you look at the change of the dollar, the value of the dollar over time, the dollar's down. And it's been going down for a long time. It's not that something happened all of a sudden. It's been going down for a long time. And other people around the world are understanding that. And that's why you see China, all in Africa, owning everything, having their hands in everything. And on the continent of Africa, Africa's not a country, it's a continent. What? All the countries, all the countries over there in Africa are moving that, and the money's shifting. The wealth, you got the BRICS going on. We know about that, right? Everybody's intelligent. You know about BRICS, so that's a whole process. And BRICS is changing the dynamic. And China's fighting for the economic hot seat, and we're in this AI war we're in right now. This economy is changing, and we have to shift with it. It's a big change, not a little change. It's a mammoth change. And the people at the top, the billionaire class, what things we're seeing, things we never heard of before are happening, and we have to shift for follow the money. And that's what I'm doing. I'm doing it with government contracting. I'm doing it with crypto and DeFi, and we're doing it with real estate. So that's it. Tokenization of real world assets. Look it up. You guys do your own research.
You over here lying again. What school you went to? So I don't know.
That's right. Yeah, don't go there. University of Maryland. Don't go there.
You went to the University of Maryland and you're talking like this?
Online or
talking like what? Yes.
It's like a battle. Like it's just it's like a chat GPT answer response.
Who's that saying? Who's saying that?
Where they got commercials like
Male
come on.
That's crazy. You know what you're talking about. You know what you're talking about. It wouldn't be there. You wouldn't be saying that to me.
You said you were an AI specialist, and that's why you knew about crypto. Like you just say stuff.
No. AI is what I do. That's what I do. That's for me. That's for me.
Say that.
AI is not your career. No, I never said that. I never said that. You don't do that.
Let me ask him one finance. Can he tell me any type of, you know what? I'll make it even better. If he could mention in history a currency that wasn't regulated by the government that was successful, can he tell me about a time like that?
Before that, can you tell me what's the difference between
How you gonna say before that? What's going on?
Cause he be over here lying.
Hold on. Neoliberal said before you answer the black lady question, answer the white man's question first. What's going on here?
Can answer both questions, Amari.
Maury, come on.
Listen, I don't mind being wrong or telling me that I've made a mistake or I'm in error, but I never really lie. I don't deliberately lie. I don't do that. So,
okay.
I will be inaccurate. Sure, no problem. I mean, if I'm wrong and you can prove me wrong, I got some more data that's better, I'll give it up all day long. But I work on empirical data. I get paid to be right, be accurate at least anyway. So forget right. Accuracy. So there's a thing that.
For 2024.
But you're not paid to be an AI specialist.
No. Actually, my friend, you're wrong. I just got a $5,000 client just the other day. I do get paid for AI.
So that's your side hustle.
No. It's a direct hustle because I put AI in all my businesses. I pay to go in and integrate business. That's what I transferred to, and that's what I do now.
So let's not go down that AI.
Right. So I'm just sharing. It's a lot there, right? But I'm just sharing with you what my goal is.
Who did you vote for in 2024?
What?
Who did you vote for in the presidential race?
I may get land-based, but I voted for Kamala Harris. Okay, period. That's what I did. So I mean, and everybody else along that, man. All right, Goomy. I'll be there.
Stop being a troll, Amari. Can you ask your question again? Like, I wanted to hear that.
Yeah. So I will say this. I'm gonna say this right quick, and I want to make sure. Don't worry about where I'm doing. If you want to reach out to me, anybody that DMs me, I'm gonna make sure you get plugged in this information, because information with action.
We're not.
Okay. No. I'm not plugging anybody. I'm just saying.
No. Again, stop. If people are interested in you, they can click on your face and go to your bio and figure it all out.
I love how you
stop. Infomercial hour is not here.
No. Okay, what's that?
Earlier.
Let me close with this. No infomercial.
It's already closed. You're closed. You're closed, sir. You're closed.
Who is that?
You are closed to business. You're closed. It's April. It's April. That's who it is. You business.
I got you. So listen.
No, listen here. Listen. You're closed.
Okay, no plug. Okay, it's done. No, none of that. I'm just gonna finish what the person asked me. No plug.
Drew, I'll just say this. You sound like a moderately intelligent person, but you are going off into like trying to promote yourself, and that these people on this stage don't like that. I think some of the things were completely intelligent. But hang on, let's go back to the topic because
let me land with this, brother. So I'm gonna get out of your hair. Let me finish what I'm saying. And thank you for that, brother, because I think you're intelligent too. There's a lot of other people here. That's why I'm here and spending my time in this, because you guys are super. I mean, really, it's really great. A great room, a great house. So I'm just giving you respect to and whatever they want to do, however people want to do, the moderators want to do, I'm going to do it that way. That's it. It's simple. I should ask for permission before I even said anything about that. But here's what I want to say. And the general subject matter, I want you guys to investigate for yourselves. So when you find out I'm accurate, you'll come back and we can do some business. And I need you. I need the people in this room
for the
to
Lord
bond.
Jesus. Okay.
No.
All right, it's enough, Drew. I swear to God.
So the subject. All right, you got.
I will leave you on the stage if you quit. If you keep it up, I can't.
What did I do?
I can't be responsible.
Okay, let's get to talk. All right, I'm done with it. I'm done with it, April. I'm done with it. We got leadership. I'm respecting leadership. I go off mic. I'm going silent. Thank you, guys.
Thanks. Okay, so back what I was saying. Look, Manfinity left and Magda left, who I actually wanted to have this conversation with.
Yeah, we talked over Manfinity. That's why he left.
Yeah,
literally asked him the question. He tried to answer it.
He doesn't have an answer for this. Manfinity runs.
You didn't let him speak, dude.
Let Manfinity speak? I listened to Manfinity drone on for hours. What I'm trying to tell you is...
Let him speak when I asked him the question.
Okay, well, fine. What I'm saying is, I run the numbers, and if you go look at the Twitter folks, and even I got Republicans friends texting me talking about what the fuck is this? What is it? What is this giving a stimulus check for $2,000? We just lambasted Biden for doing the same thing during COVID. It's only going. Inflation is going up in certain respects, and so there are people financially inclined and voted for Trump on these lines. This is an extremely populist and to MAGA all day. If you go look at Twitter, it's saying socialist all over the place. This is this looks to me, I don't have another word for it. It's a very socialist construct and giving a $2,000 check. And I'm not even saying that people don't need it and that we shouldn't have it, but to essentially tax the American people and then give it back to them in the form of a stimulus check is like the very definition of socialism. I don't understand why you would tax people, tax us as consumer, run it through the government, and then hand us back $2,000 with still a blooming deficit, right? It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't think it's a good idea. There's people on the right and the left that are both thinking that this is a bad idea. I'd love to hear what y'all think.
Because again, Donald is trying to buy votes. Of course it's idiotic because he's fucking idiotic. There's no concept or thought process behind this except for I want to buy votes because this shit worked last time.
This shit's been a bad idea. Not just right now.
For the TV commercial break. Hello, everybody, and happy motherfucking Sunday. Welcome to Politically Correct. We've been hearing a lot of discussions across the board.
Ultra. No.
Okay, never mind. Back to you. Ain't that what it is? Love you.
Anybody for this stimulus check? Omar, or is anybody saying that this is good?
I don't know anybody saying it's good.
Poor people.
That's bullshit.
This is not going to happen. He's not going to pay anybody in America $2,000 for anything. It's not going to happen. I don't think he's even paying the contractors who tore down the East Wing has ever been paid. Trump told y'all about Doge checks. He told you some other kind. Y'all stop. He's not going to pay anybody anything.
No, actually, the plan was instead of paying the insurance companies, give it back to the people, but then only give the people $2,000. Which makes no sense.
Exactly. So, but if anyone gets a $2,000, are y'all sending the money back?
Yeah. Let me not say
That's a
right.
question, Mari.
If high income earners are defined by individuals making over $250,000, suddenly I'm gonna change my tune and be forward. I ain't gonna lie to you.
But who's who you giving the money back to? Because you can't even cut a check back, so that doesn't even make sense.
You can't cut a stimulus check.
Right.
You can't get it back to the treasury. You can't get the money back to the treasury.
You can write a check back if you want to, but it just doesn't make sense.
I ain't giving the check back. I'm telling you now. If you say income earners are people making over $250,000.
Right, you have to qualify for the check.
Right. What the fuck is going on? I can't. This is too much.
That's how dumb this is. They can't even have a serious conversation about it.
Right.
That's how dumb
it's stupid.
Now look, I think it's actually a dumb idea, but I'm not returning $2,000 check. And nor is anybody else.
Nobody's gonna return the check if it was to be given, but y'all ain't gonna get no damn check, so y'all gotta stop the shit.
I could get the arcade. I could get the arcade for my man cave. I could definitely get the arcades. So
when he says the check coming, the man tends to do what he says he's going to do. When he says that there's going to be a $2,000 check, and especially how it's blown up on social media now, I think there's probably a check.
There is no check coming, Trent. What in the name of God is wrong with you today?
So April said there's no check coming. So
Listen,
April, if a check comes.
Amari, I don't need your help. I really don't. I don't need your help. I can talk for myself. If there's not going to be a check, I'm tired of repeating myself. Donald Trump is not paying y'all anything. Congress is not in session. These motherfuckers ain't doing shit. Senate's there this weekend trying to fix shit. But the House, I don't even know how many weeks they have. My God, what is going on? Dr. E, thank you for calling you because I couldn't take it no more. What's going on? What's going on? What's happening?
Tell them who has the power of the purse. Tell them, Dr. AG, who has the power of the purse, because I don't think they...
Apparently not.
Oh, definitely.
Trump is out here blabbering that money back to the people and not to the insurance company. He wants them. I heard 800 the other day. Now I'm hearing $2. It makes no sense for anybody to even believe this because the president can't just give out money.
Oh, he don't give. Okay.
Yeah.
Infomercials, they won't stop this check talk. You can't. It's ridiculous.
While I was raising my voice,
never paid anybody any fucking thing.
While I was raising my voice for the Lord, I got a message saying somebody was advising people to take 50-year home mortgages.
That was another bunch of bullshit.
I think he's still on the stage. Did he leave?
Sorry.
No, I
think he's gone.
No, we're not. We're not starting
that. Make their down payment with the $2,000 check.
The down payment for the 50-year loan.
but you know what? Hold on. But when people got the $1,500 check and people got a $600, people were thankful for those checks when during that time in 2021. And in 2020.
Okay, y'all
yeah, but people were thankful though. I mean, like, can we?
Who said people weren't thankful? What's going on?
But I'm saying people get but see, this is the part of being elite, right? A 2,000 check ain't. Someone in the chat put 2,000. 2,000 ain't shit, but 2,000 can help a lot of people.
But that wasn't the reason behind those checks. And
we're not talking about reason. We're talking about dollar amount. It doesn't matter.
He delayed giving the checks because he wanted to sign the physical check.
We're not getting into the weeds. We're talking about the amount. No, we don't.
No, we do need to get into it. Because it was crazy. No, because this is the problem that you guys always give in the delusion.
Okay, can we just stick to the top level?
No, we are on the topic.
Can we keep it high level?
We are keeping it high level.
Why keep it
high level? Is why when people appreciate the $2,000
Wait one second, because I'm sorry, I'm new here. You know, I'm kind of slow. So, I think the issue is you're correct. During COVID, when people got those stimulus checks, when they got that check, people were grateful. People were glad they needed the money. Great. No problem with that. I think the issue now is that this money is supposed to perform a specific function. This money is supposed to compensate, right, for subsistence that already exists. And the argument is this money isn't going to satisfy the need that will be created when the subsistence that's in place is taken away. Rather, it may even make people's financial burden greater. So it's not that people aren't grateful when they are given any sort of stimulus, subsistence, support, whatever. It's that the way this support is being marketed, it's false advertising. And unlike the stimulus people got in COVID, it's not going to help. It has the potential to make things worse. That's what the issue is.
So it's marketing as tariffs, so this is a different situation, right?
It is being marketed as tariffs, but the problem is that there's no tariff money that's actually been collected.
Oh wait,
to
I thought y'all was
justify
talking about the money he gonna give people.
No,
for the
it's
insurance.
not.
Right, it is. It actually is being. It is marketed. It is being marketed as $2,000. The tariff money that
No,
he
that's
collected.
not what we're talking about.
No,
that's not what
I'll
I'm
tell you what that
Oh
is.
my
We're not
goodness.
talking
No,
about that.
hold on. There's two different conversations being had. The $2,000 from tariff revenue is one thing, and then instead of giving cutting that money to insurance companies to open up the government and giving it to the people, that's a different
Right.
conversation.
I'm
Right,
talking about
we're not talking about that.
I'm
Right.
talking
Right.
about the second thing because
Okay,
I thought that was what Omari was. That's what we were talking
Okay,
about.
then disregard. I'm talking about the tariffs.
We're talking about the
Disregard.
tariffs, right? We were talking.
Yeah,
Omari and I were
that's
talking about the tariffs.
Right. That was you, Omari, was the conversation for you.
When I raised the question about the insurance, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that part.
We were talking about the
You were on
$2,000 tax.
topic, Dr. A.G. Omari threw off the topic because he was going to make himself a fool per usual. That's what happened.
God.
So on tariffs, like
I agree with Brooklyn on that one.
yeah, the same logic applies on tariffs. The money is not coming from nowhere.
But the money's not collected still. That's the problem. And there's still not enough logic because this money that they're talking about, there's no surplus of tariff money. So the money he's talking about doesn't add up. There's not enough money of this tariff money to go around to give back to anyone.
Was that neoliberal who was talking before?
Yes.
Okay, what were you saying? I'm sorry. I wanted to hear his point.
I think 195 billion, somewhere between that to 200 billion in tariff revenue, right? That, again, that is overwhelmingly paid by Americans, right?
Correct.
So, again, taking money from somebody, giving it to somebody else, because this is first of all, this is not serious because this is literally off tweets or Truth Social posts of Donald Trump. So, what is the distributional effect of this? Like, I can't do the math. Nobody can do math in the head, but knowing that tariffs are regressive, right? And assuming the distribution is going to be flat, right? This is a regressive tax on Americans, even if it is distributed, right, back. So, are regressive tax good for the Americans? Probably not. You're taking money from people who don't have money and giving it to people who have more money, even if you exclude the top, like, I don't know, even if you exclude the top, it's still regressive, right? What is the point of it?
No. It's the opposite.
And you also have a pending tariff-related Supreme Court, which could rule to give all of that money back to people who paid it, right?
No. So it's the opposite. And there have been 184, I'm looking up the stats, there's been $184 billion collected in tariffs from U.S. importers from February 20, and this is the fiscal year of 2025, so it's $184 billion. Now, that is not enough to cover what is potentially a $280 billion stimulus check back. But because Trump is saying he's going to cut off high income earners, and it depends on where you postulate high income earners. If you're saying that it's over 100, like I said before, that's over individuals making over $100,000. That eliminates between 15 and 18% of the United States. But it would go to the rest of the people.
Still
now, I'm not debating that. But once you give that money back, I don't consider that a regressive tax because you're eliminating the high income earners.
Still remains regressive even with that.
It's fine, but listen, here's the point is, there's two things. One, this is serious. Two, I do think not only Republicans, there are some Democrats that would that would definitely get behind this. I think Congress would pass this if pushed by the president. Nobody typically likes to be the one to say that the middle class doesn't get money that is available, especially if Trump's pushing hard. The Republicans go forward. You have your Thomas Masseys and your Paul Rand.
What about
hold on a minute. You have your Thomas Masseys and your Paul Rand, your debt hogs that will be against it, but the majority of Republicans will be for it. It will be hard to press to say when we come out of the shutdown, or then Democrats to say that we are against giving average people a $2,000 check, even though the fiscal sense may not make sense. I don't think they'll be all against it. Not all.
Okay, what about Supreme Court? What about the Supreme Court?
I don't know how the Supreme Court would play into if
He's
Congress
talking about the tariffs decision.
Yeah, if Congress decided to give $280 billion back to the American people, just like the COVID checks that they did, I don't think the Supreme Court plays into it because this money has already been collected.
Well, it is being collected, but then if the Supreme Court rules that they have to pay back that money, they will have to dip into some other pocket to give that money.
That's the point, because they would not be able to give the money back, because if the Supreme Court says they have to give it back to the importers, there is no money to give to the American people. So it's a moot point.
I don't think the Supreme Court is going to make them give money back. I think
they would.
They're not.
They have to wait for you have to wait for the ruling. Yes, they have the right to. If the Supreme Court says they have to give them the money back, they got to give them their money back. What are you talking about?
I was listening to CNBC and others.
Hold on. Rez, I think he's not understanding. He's skipping something. If the Supreme Court rules that Donald Trump did not have the authority to impose the tariffs, that means he would then have to give the money back.
Thank you.
So they would have to rule that the tariffs were illegal, like he imposed them without authority.
Correct. They were unconstitutional.
That's why. Hold on. That's what they're talking about when they say he would have to refund the money that he's collected because he collected it illegally.
Right. So there would be no money to give to anyone.
But they're not gonna. But the deals that he already made, where other countries agreed to, they're not looking at those. They're not looking at overturning those. It doesn't matter whether the deals were made or not. Listen to what I'm saying to you. If the Supreme Court rules against him, and they say it doesn't matter whether the deals were made and they were agreed upon. It would strike down the deals, and he would have to give the money back to the countries. That it makes any money going to anyone a moot point. Omar, period, point blank.
That's why the likelihood of the Supreme Court forcing us to give money back is like less than 1%. I do not envision that.
Okay, your percentages don't matter right now.
Yeah, I know, but we all know that when has the United States ever given back money in your lifetime? I mean, even if they ruled against going forward.
They just gave Iran back their fucking money. What are y'all? Are y'all weird? Are y'all cool? They give countries back money all the time. Are y'all cool? They gave Iran back their money. They have given other countries back their money.
I think somebody else was trying to get into the conversation.
Why do people have such strong opinions who didn't listen to the case? They literally talked about this during the case, Trent and Omari. Did y'all not put on Trent? Trent, just let me get it out, man. I haven't interrupted you. I don't know why you do this. Just let me make the point. How do I sound ridiculous when they were talking about it?
Stop talking.
Wait a minute.
Let him finish.
Oh, 1 second. I sound ridiculous talking about what the justices themselves talked about? How's that ridiculous?
It sounds ridiculous if you're going to postulate that the Supreme Court is going to force the United States to give back $200 billion in tariff gains. That has sided with Trump in every major decision. I mean, are we really making that argument? You can make that argument to these people.
Trent, this came up in the case is all I'm saying. That's it.
The justices suggested
They brought it
that
up.
in
Now,
their
they agree with you that it would be, well, you didn't say this. They think it would be very difficult to do, but it came up in the case, and it will go to U.S. importers. It wouldn't go to other countries.
Go U.S. supporters. Go. I mean,
That's it. But hold on, Trent. I'm just bringing you. Tell me I sound ridiculous. Hold on. I'm just telling you it came up in the case.
Tell that to Justice.
Let me ask you a question. Did you listen to the oral arguments?
I did.
Did you listen?
Speaking on Trent's behalf now.
Did you listen to the oral arguments?
Did not.
Did not.
Polymarket has Trump winning the case 22%. It crashed after the oral arguments from, I don't remember, something like around 40, 50, crashed since then. Actually, yeah, 40. It crashed. Oral arguments did not go Trump's way. But again, if it doesn't go this way, other countries have nothing to do with it. It's returning that money to people who paid the tariffs. People who paid the tariffs are Americans, American importers, businesses, people, whatever, right? That's who that money is collected from. And if the Supreme Court rules that that money has to be given back and it was illegal, etc., that's who it would go back to. A lot of them are small, medium businesses that are struggling. Something like 70% of businesses are saying that they're struggling with the economy, and it's worse than last year, worse than the beginning of the year, before the tariffs, etc. That's where the money is going to go.
So to Coach's point, yeah, I did listen to the oral arguments. CNN, I don't know why Fox didn't play it, but CNN was playing it, and I have to agree. Yeah, the government, they did a horrible job trying to explain it. I mean, even you had, Amy Comey over there and Kavanaugh questioning, like, do you even understand the difference, of certain, factors, and going back to like previous decisions, like they were just misrepresenting. But the argument still stands that the retro payments, they would have to sue, right? So how is that going to work? I mean, that could come out, but you'd have to sue, and who would be responsible? How would that?
Who has to sue?
Like Goat mentioned, who would have to sue would be not the country, but the importers.
Talking about.
No. How would you? Okay, so you listen to the oral arguments, right?
Yes.
So how did they say the money would be refunded?
This is how it happens, Omari. Let me take it away from the tariffs, right?
Okay.
So you know how Amazon Prime was accused of cheating people because they wouldn't let the people, get out of the thing, right? Remember that? That was the result of a lawsuit. So yes, somebody sued. But when you because Amazon is an independent company, correct?
Correct.
Okay. When you have a government entity, right, that is being challenged by another government entity on who has the authority to levy a tax, nobody has to sue anybody because the government, the people, their interest is represented by the government. In this case, you have two sides that are arguing, but it's both the people. So there is no need for any individual company to sue because it is a matter of law that whether or not this government entity or this government entity has the right to levy this tax. If it is found that the government entity that levied the tax doesn't have the right, it's solved. It's a matter of law. That's why nobody has to sue. I don't have to sue as an individual company. Do you see?
So here, and I got to read this article by Supply Chain.
Do you understand what I just said?
I understand what you're saying, but can I respond?
You were reading while I was talking, but
no, I was listening, and I agree. it says here, if the court rules that the tariffs are unlawful and the government might have to refund importers who pay the tariff, that refund process could involve companies filing claims with Customs and Borders Protection, proving they paid and deal time lag.
That's not a lawsuit.
That's not a lawsuit, sir.
It's a claim.
It's wrong.
Yeah, but it's not a lawsuit.
Okay, so do you agree that, hold on, do you, Brooklyn, me and Dr. J are talking, do you agree, do you agree that they can file a claim? That they
And then you come with something about a fucking claim.
Yes.
we don't listen to Brooklyn, we don't even pay Brooklyn no more.
But a claim isn't a lawsuit. It's not a suit. It's not the same.
Okay, so they can file a claim, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so we all agree they can file a claim.
File a claim with your insurance, like when you go, when you take your dog to the vet and you got pet insurance, the vet gives you the bill and then you send the bill to the insurance saying, look, I paid this, give me my money. That's the claim. I didn't have to go to court and say, I'm suing you for this money.
Like this is a routine stuff businesses do. This is
It doesn't require a law.
This is like routinely both for profit taxes and input output VAT. Difference is like there is reconciliation, and this is going to be some part in the reconciliation businesses that it's not going to impose any administrative burden.
So I guess we just all gotta wait for that ruling to see if they're going to, one, retroactively, if they rule against them, will they make it retroactive? And that's gonna be interesting to see.
If they rule against him, it automatically becomes retroactive. Because that's the point of the whole thing.
Well,
And it's a done deal. Once the Supreme Court has made the decision, there's no going against anything. They have made the ultimate decision. Point blank, period. There's no going against what they've done. They've made the decision. So let's not keep going back and forth.
The other point is, like, other than distributional effects of these checks, the government shouldn't function this way. This is not normal tax policy.
100%.
Yeah, this is not like economists haven't sat down and calculated the distributional effects on inflation, effects on GDP, whether it's a good idea or not. It's probably regressive, right? Just basic logic tells us that it's this is American government is running on a prerogative of one person instead of normal economic policy, right? And that is kind of insane.
If Bitcoin's not 300K, Andrew, my life is over.
It's the Jews, man.
It's the Israelis, yeah.
I feel like Israelis is expanding onto Jews because there's Arabs in there, there's Christians in there.
It's inclusive.
It's just expanding that scope.
It's like, hey, you just hate all of them.
So maybe that is true. Maybe it is like everyone's in charge, in some way. It gets their way of backing those out of a corner.
So John Seth, when are you gonna have this debate with John? Because I can't miss this.
I don't know. If he happens to be in here, like the thing is,
the thing is, you both, well, both of you are. I agree with that. It's very unlikely we'll get it, but you have to catch him on a confident day. You might get it, but surprisingly, you both are in Florida, so I need to make sure you have it on here and not in person.
What's John is going to happen is he's going to concede that J6 was not an insurrection, that it wasn't a big deal, and that he's not surprised that it was an inside job, but that I said there was no violence and therefore I'm wrong. So that's what I'm waiting for, which is all I want. I just want him to admit that it wasn't a big deal, it wasn't an insurrection, and it was a nothing burger.
He will never admit it's nothing burger. That's what I tried to press him on.
I think the original claim was that it's a nothing burger.
I know,
so
and he wants.
He'll have to admit that once he sees